Hi, this is Lorianne Rickard from My Health Spin. We're going to talk today a little bit about breastfeeding at work. One of the things that we were talking about here amongst ourselves is how different it was 20 years ago when I had my children breastfeeding as compared to now. I'm a lawyer, and there weren't a lot of women who worked in law firms. And there certainly weren't a lot of women who worked in law firms, had children, and were breastfeeding when they came back from work. That was a fairly unusual thing 20 plus years ago. And I always like to tell this story to younger women about the fact that I had a little satchel that I had my breast pump in and my other things I needed for pumping. And I had arranged with the HR department to go to kind of an empty floor where we stored boxes to pump my breast milk because there really wasn't any place in the firm to pump the breast milk. And so I would go a couple of times a day with my little satchel, and it started to happen that the couriers in the office were starting to follow me, or when I was on that deserted floor where nobody normally was, that they would come up there, and it started to happen more often. And finally, I had to go to somebody, one of the senior partners in the firm who was male, and it was quite embarrassing for a young female lawyer to say, listen, these guys got to leave me alone. And what I had found out was that the couriers in the firm actually thought I was using drugs because I was carrying this little satchel. So that just gives you an example of how different it is today compared to how it used to be. But that being said, I know that there are a lot of work environments that aren't particularly friendly to women coming back from maternity leave who still want to breastfeed. There's a lot of employers that are great about this, that, provide a room and a pump and various other things. But there's still a lot of employers that are kind of in the dark ages about that. So, what advice do we have as far as what you do if you're a woman today trying to breastfeed and work that into your work schedule? Well, I think the first thing that I would suggest that I didn't do, but I think is, as I talk to other women, is a really good idea, is just be open about it. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. And even if you work for all males and they may be a little embarrassed about talking about it, as much as you're able to have an open discussion about it and you don't feel like or act like it's anything embarrassing or something you should be ashamed of, the more your employer will take your lead from that. And so I think, before you come back from work, you want to contact your HR department or whoever is appropriate. Simply say that this is going to be a part of your process and make an arrangement with them about how to express your breast milk in a way in which it's comfortable for you and convenient in the office. Don't do it the way I did it, which is trying to kind of hide it, and do it behind the scenes with just the women that I knew, and then you have problems like I had. You want to also make sure that, and we've talked about this in other blog posts, that you have the appropriate breast pump for you. My daughter was very sick when she was born, and I needed a very heavy-duty electric breast pump in order to make sure that I had enough breast milk for her at home, especially when I was traveling. And so make sure that, you talk to your doctor and find what works for you. But I think the most important thing is that you feel comfortable with the fact that it's totally appropriate and under the law. There's certain things that are provided now in your health insurance with regard to breastfeeding. So it's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's a very normal part of the process of having a child. And so you want to make sure that you're comfortable in talking about it and be flexible about how you can work out an arrangement that works for your employer and also works for you. So I hope that was helpful for you. This is Lori Ann Rickard from My Health Spin. If you like this post and would like to find out more, please follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and also like us as well. We also are on Twitter and Pinterest. Thanks so much. See you next time.